Bosnia and Herzegovina need a new gas pipeline. It had one perfectly suitable candidate to build it, a state-owned company called BH Gas, with the infrastructure, expertise, and the obvious mandate. Last month, the Bosnian government passed emergency legislation specifically excluding BH Gas from the project and instead awarding a no-competition contract worth $1.5 billion to a company called AAFS Infrastructure and Energy. Now, you won't have heard of them. Until recently, almost nobody had. Its director is Jesse Binnell, Donald Trump's former personal lawyer. Its vice president is Joseph Flynn, brother of Michael Flynn, Trump's former national security advisor. The US Department of Energy envoy was in Sarajevo applying pressure on the government ahead of the vote. The EU ambassador wrote a formal warning letter. Nobody stopped it. This isn't geopolitics. This is not the free market. This is the American presidency being used as a private revenue stream. The commander-in-chief of the world's most powerful military, leveraging that power to redirect billion-dollar contracts toward his own inner circle. And how does this kind of thing go unnoticed? The same way it always has. Bread and circuses. Though it's worth noting that the bread is getting more expensive. Grocery prices in April rose at their fastest rate in nearly 4 years, driven by the fuel and fertilizer costs of a war in Iran that most Americans did not vote for and cannot afford. Tomatoes are up 50% on last year. The USDA has nearly doubled its food inflation forecast for 2026. The circus, meanwhile, is a UFC fight hosted on the White House lawn. A little on the nose for even the most unimaginative Julius Caesar tribute act, but here we are. Now, you've heard me speak about America's shadow a great deal by now. Here it is for all to see. Every extractive instinct the Republic was supposedly built to constrain, the merger of political power and private wealth, the subordination of allies, the treatment of public office as personal property, enacted openly without apology at scale. The men who designed the American Constitution feared this above all else. They called it corruption. They did not mean it loosely. They meant the precise moment when the public interest and private interest become indistinguishable, when the state stops being a trustee of the people and becomes an instrument of enrichment for whoever holds power. But sunlight is the best disinfectant, and as each brazen act mounts up, each no-competition contract, each loyalty rewarded, each institution quietly hollowed out, the empire collapses further under the weight of its own hypocrisy. Bosnia is a small, fragile country still rebuilding from a genocide 30 years ago. It deserved better than to become a line in someone else's portfolio. But when I wrote about the end of the American empire, I said they don't usually end with a bang. They bleed out slowly, one compromised contract at a time, until the world simply stops believing the myth that it's been told about them.